I leave y'all alone for 3 weeks. I was in Austin having a great time, and I come back and everyone's spreading Omicron. What is Omicron? Omicron is the brand new spin-off story of a story that's been going around like gangbusters since 2020. It's the most watched and televised event ever. It's got a lot of really good ratings. It's called Corona, which means crown. Omicron also means a couple interesting things. I'm going to get into it a little bit here. I'm going to go a lot deeper over in the deeper dive section so I don't get this beautiful YouTube channel taken down for telling too much of the truth. Remember, this is theater. And what we're dealing with is there are certain rules to the game, and if you don't play along with it, you'll just get the axe. So, like Tyrion in Game of Thrones, you play a little bit of the game, but you know what's up, and you also understand how to navigate a lot of the treachery that's happening. So, Omicron, brand new variant. A lot of people are afraid of it, even though many people are saying the symptoms of it aren't that bad. But really what we're talking about is something that is taken over on planet Earth. And this kind of reminds me of a movie called Omicron that came out in 1963. And it was all about an Earthman being taken over, his body being taken over by an alien. So the alien race can suss out the place to see how they can take over the entire planet. I'm telling you, first contact has already happened. We don't understand what we're looking at, and we're squirting it inside our bodies. I'll get into that, a little bit of the BioNTech, and more, as long as you smash that like button. I'm not joking. You got to smash that shit. Don't just tap it, give it a love tap. Smash it. Comment below, please. Tell me your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video out far and wide. This is the greatest thing you can do to help out with the numbers of the almighty algorithm that we all bow to. And get ready for this microdose of infinity. Welcome back to Waking Infinity News. I'm your host, Ben Joseph Stewart. We're talking about Omicron. Omicron, not Omnicron as some people are saying. Omicron. It's the 15th letter in the Greek alphabet. It does have a lot of significance. I'll get into a little of the meaning from a book called Magical Alphabets. But the main thing that I want to say is 8 countries have restricted travel, and the U.S. is not allowing travel from these specific countries. It's in Canada. It's right in our backyard, basically. And Fauci says that in the next couple days, we're bound to find that it's already in the U.S.
The profile of the mutation strongly suggests that it's going to have an advantage in transmissibility, and that, together with the fact that it just kind of exploded in the sense that when you look in South Africa, you were having a low level of infection, and then all of a sudden there was this big spike. And when the South Africans looked at it, they said, oh my goodness, this is a different virus than we've been dealing with.
And the New York Times reports countries around the world are scrambling to stop the spread after the WHO described Omicron as a variant of concern, which is its most serious category. The WHO said the variant, first detected in southern Africa, carries a number of genetic mutations that might allow it to spread quickly, perhaps even among those who are vaccinated. But scientists say vaccines seem likely to work against it. In the Jerusalem Post, the Omega exercise, as it was called by Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, was meant to prepare for a hypothetical new COVID-19 variant. So Omega has the long O sound. Omicron has the short O sound. This is why they are both starting with O, but different letters in the Greek alphabet. If you go back and you really understand how much of not just the intellectual and logical side of society where we are today actually comes from ancient Greece, but you will actually see that a lot of magic and mystery schools use this alphabet for magical rituals, for magical purposes. Now, I'm only bringing this up because Omega is not the same thing as Omicron, but it's kind of like Event 201. This Omega exercise happened right before this new variant came out. But the new variant is Omicron, not Omega. So they didn't exactly call it. But the thing is, they both start with an O. One starts with a long O, Omega. And the small O, Omicron, actually small is part of the meaning of the name. Also, it means, and it's actually the letter O, if you look at it, it's a circle. The meaning of it in Nigel Pennick's book, Magical Alphabets, actually means the enclosed power of the sun, the fountain of all energy on earth, but it's enclosed inside this small O, this small capsule. The reason why I'm getting at this is because you should call me an unhinged conspiracy theorist for your sake, so you don't get called an unhinged conspiracy theorist for saying or thinking some of the same things. I believe that we are all immature magicians. We are magicians creating our own reality. We are co-creating our own reality, but we are immature because we don't understand that it all starts with agreements. When we are in large groups, we can actually superpower our magic, but we need to use the same utterances, the same words, the same frequencies. So if we repeat over and over and over again things like corona, delta, epsilon, Omicron, then what are you doing? We're getting everybody using the same frequency, but what is the news injecting into that word? Fear. It's going to be here soon. Oh, it's about to get you. It's about to get you. It's this invisible thing and it's about to get you. And the deepest fact of science is that almost everything in the pharmaceutical world has to factor in the fact that placebo works, if you think about it. So a drug has to work better than placebo, and a lot of the times it doesn't. So then once something works a little bit better than the placebo, we're like, oh my God, science is so incredible. Placebo, whatever. Let's just put that on the back burner. But science is so incredible, and scientists are so incredible because they figured out this thing that works a little bit better than imagination and nothing at all. A sugar pill that you take and your belief makes it just as powerful most times, sometimes more powerful, and sometimes just a little bit less powerful than this thing that you're going to have to pay a bunch of money for and might have all these serious side effects. By the way, placebo, how much evidence out there you see that people are having these adverse reactions to the placebo effect? You're not. How come we are not up in arms about the fact that the placebo effect, our mind, our imagination can give you the same effects no matter what you believe it's supposed to do as the drugs? People, we are all hypnotized. We are all under some kind of a spell. Even those who are waking up. You don't just wake up one day and you see everything as it clearly is. No. Buddhists, Taoists, people who meditate for years, contemplative exercises, trying to wake up that real encapsulated and imprisoned consciousness takes a lot of time. So even though I would say that I've been waking up for many years, I'm still under the spell. I don't know exactly what's happening in the world, but I know enough to know that we are meant to say the word Omicron over and over and over again. With what? Fear. It's invisible. It's coming to get us, right? We're meant to use these words over and over and over again to evoke what? Could this have anything to do with a 1963 film by Hugo Gregoretti, where an alien takes over the body of an Earthman in order to learn about the planet so his race can take it over? Are we being taken over by some alien force? I've said in the past that I think first contact has already happened and all of us are looking at aliens. We just don't know what we're looking at yet. The language, when we put the words out onto paper, onto contracts, then we have agreements. And those agreements stand stronger. Like if I say some kind of magical incantation, but I don't let anybody else know about it, then nobody is going to hold me accountable if I don't stay true to my word, like in magic. That's why we have contracts. That's why all of law, all governments, and pretty much everything that we do now is based off of words on paper or digitally on screens. These agreements, it's all about a sacred contract. What I'm telling you is when you repeat these words over and over and over again, you are opening something up inside you and you are allowing for it to enter inside you. Kind of like the movie. And I would say that we are at the stage of Omicron where the first contact otherworldly beings are still sussing out the place. How do we fully make our move to take over? Anyway, I love you all. Go over to benjosephstewart.com, become a member, get on the Discord chat. People are talking about all these topics. It's a free, open community talking about all the topics that I'm talking about here. And make sure you stick around for Thursday night podcasts, the Ben Stewart podcast, and Friday nights I do acoustic nights where I'm showing you just different aspects of the art that I like to bring to bear for all of you to understand that really the only real solution here is for us to wake up to the hypnosis that we're putting ourselves in by uttering certain words and giving it certain meaning and allowing that to happen before we even have our food. We just pour our coffee and we instantly go to the news and it starts filling us with all these ideas, and we don't realize that we are in a ceremony saying yes to something that if we knew more about it, if we could Google it and it would give us the actual truth, we wouldn't say yes to it. The sacred agreement is written. We are consenting to something we don't want, but we need to wake up. So the solution has always been, we need to wake up. I love y'all. I'll see you over at the Deeper Dives.